Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you all are doing well and you're crushing it in Red Dead Online. And in this video, man, I'm going to show you how to get started in Red Dead Online. But before I get to that, man, if you enjoy this type of content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I make guide and tip videos all the time. By hitting the subscribe button, it'll ensure you don't miss the next video. Plus, it helps the channel out tremendously. So now that all that's out of the way, let's get right into it. Okay, finally, so when you're done with the missions, you're dropped into the open world where you can actually really get started with the game. And the game is going to put you in a pretty populated area like a towns like Rhodes. It's going to be one of those big towns where there are a lot of active players currently in that town. So one of the first things you want to do is you want to move. You want to move because you don't want to be where there's a lot of active players because you're brand new to the game and you don't know what their intentions. There is PvP once you start. I'm going to show you the next thing you need to do. But the first thing you need to do, you need to move. And you can go to some place like McFarland's Ranch, which is right over here. It'll drop you McFarland's Ranch, and then what you want to do is once you get there, you want to hit left on your D-pad and bring up the free roam options. This is going to give you all types of information, most importantly your dailies and things like that, your posse properties. This is where you're going to want to go and move your camp. So you want to move your camp and set it in this area. Now, if you want to be kind of in this area, then you want to move your camp into the Higginstead area. And that'll kind of keep you in this area somewhere in here. This is where it is. Right, all up in here. Pretty much all up in here is the Higginstead. If you want to be closer to Blackwater, which is another big city, but it's not as bad as the other ones, then you want to go into the Great Plains. But Higginstead is a good area to start up your first starter camp, being brand new to the game. Because it's low populated, not a lot of people are base camp here. They'll pass through, but they're not based here. So you have the ability to hunt and move around a little bit freely. So again, left on the D-pad while you're in a free roam mission, you want to go all the way down to online options. Hit the online options, then you want to go all the way down to playing style, and it will be on offensive. You want to switch it to defensive mode. So defensive mode, make it so that players cannot lock onto you with the auto aim. And if someone does end up killing you without, auto aiming on you, they'll get a higher bounty. The police will come after them a lot sooner than they normally would. So defensive mode really deters people from attacking you. It prevents them from coming in and attacking your camp because you have the red and white. If you only have the red, then your camp is open. Anybody can come in and attack your camp, and they can do whatever they want. They can kill Crips. So you want to make sure that you have that defensive mode on, which will bring up the white and red and make it so that no one can break into your camp. So now that you got defensive mode on, the next thing you can do is you can finish the story missions. And that's the land of opportunity missions. Those missions are going to give you a good amount of XP and money to really get functioning in Red Dead Online. So that should be the next thing you do the land of opportunity missions. So once you're done the land of opportunity missions, you want to make some money. First thing the easiest way you're going to make money in the beginning if you have no roles is by hunting. You want to get into a nice area like the McFarland's Ranch, the Higginstead area, or at the Emerald Station area. They have a good amount of hunting that you can do with not a lot of people around to interfere with your hunting or take any animals that you are hunting. Now, most importantly, while you're traveling, you need to be aware of your map. Your map right there in the corner pretty much shows you everything that's in the area except for animals. Does not show you animals until you kill them. If you kill them, then it'll show you their little paw print on the map, and you'll be able to find them to be either get the meat or get the skin. If you see a little blue dot, that is a player, and the map will let you know how close they are to you. When you're in defensive mode, the player blue dot will be kind of grayed out, meaning that they can't, like I said, they can't really attack you. But if it's dark blue, that means you're not in defensive mode, you're in PvP mode, and they can attack you. So just be aware that those blue dots will give you the indicator whether you're on defensive mode or not. So now, while you're out hunting, especially at night, it's an abundance of predators. They'll be in red dots, and you'll see them. It'll be like a little red line or like a little red like dust up around you at the bottom of your map or whatever direction they're coming at to let you know, hey, this is a predator or this is something that's coming at you, whether it's an animal or what are the NPCs that are trying to rob you, which that does happen. They do try to rob you. Whenever you see that red, know that it's time to get busy and get the gun out and be ready to defend yourself. Now at your camp, there are a lot of important things you can do from your camp that will make your life a lot easier in Red Dead. Number one is the lockbox. You can get all of your deliveries here. You can pay your bounties here. You can get all of your telegrams here. How you can start a call to arms. Everything you need, you can get from your lockbox. This is a very important piece. You don't need to go to the post office to pay your bounties or anything. You did it right from your camp, so that when you go into those other areas, the police are not after you. Also, the stew, man, this is a great tool that a lot of people just miss. You can get recipes to improve the stew that will give you certain buffs. This is actually generally free food that you don't need to go out and hunt to keep yourself from being underweight. You just need to eat stew, but don't eat too much because you will get overweight. When you have the traded roll crypts is right here, you'll be able to do all your trading needs, whether you need to donate your pelts to get the materials to be able to make a trader run. Everything you need to do, you can do right here with crypts. Now, one of the last things I want to talk about is like when you're in those PvP modes, how can you defend yourself when you're a lower level up against a higher level? Well, for one, a lot of the higher levels really don't come after people. Like that's kind of like an urban legend or a myth. Well, not so much as a myth, but nowadays there are not a lot of higher levels that pick on lower levels. They just don't, just not in this game, and not that I've experienced. They just really don't. They're few and far in between, but you do have those few that are just just jerks, and they will. So in the event that you run into a jerk, there is a few things that you can do as a lower level, not having the equipment that the higher levels have. And the first thing is be aware of your map. Constantly check your map. Know when those blue dots are coming, and know what they're doing. If you see a blue dot and you hear shots and you don't see an animal, then they're not hunting. They're shooting at you. So just start running. Start running. Try to go through areas where you see like a wooded that are trees, to where you can weave in and out of. Because if you can weave in and out of them and get a little distance and just create some obstacles to be able to put some space against you, you have a better chance of getting away without, having to fight them. Now, let's say you have to fight them. Look at your area and look for like the first hill that you can see. You want to kind of get high ground because it's better for you to attack from the high ground than to be low. So if they're coming, get high, quickly pull out your gun. And then as you see them coming, aim for their horse. Now, if they're coming at you, they might have popped a potion. So even if you shoot them, it's not going to do much damage. But you can kill their horse. So aim at them, and I would just start pumping as many shots as I possibly can towards or into their horse. It's going to cause them to flee. Because if their horse get killed, then they have to wait a while before their horse respawn. And that means the game's going to give them pretty much a temporary horse, which is the worst. I repeat, the worst horse in the game. It never goes where you want it to go. It moves on its own. It's just hard to navigate. It is a terrible, terrible horse, and no one wants to have that terrible horse for any amount of time. So you want to get them off your back. Aim at their horse. They'll flee, and it'll give you time to get away. So those are some things that you can do if they're coming at you. A lot of times when you see the blue dot and you don't hear any shots, they'll just roll up to you, tip their hat, because they know you're new to the game. And a lot of people are much more helpful than they are harmful in the game. So they'll tip their hat, or they'll invite you to be in their posse. It's up to you whether you want to take that invite or not. You can, because then they may take you through a bunch of missions and pretty much get you the XP that you need so that you can level up. There are a lot of cool people in this game. But again, you do have to be prepared for those jerks that you run into every now and then. All right, guys. Well, that is it for this one. I wanted to give you guys just a couple of tips and hints for when you're getting started, like just really how to get started in the game. What are some things you should do right at the beginning? And hopefully these tips help. If there are any veteran players that have any other additional advice, go ahead and drop it in the comment section below so we can help as many new players get acclimated with the game as possible. And if you have any questions for me, go ahead and drop them in the comment section, and I promise I'll try to answer them as quickly as I can as soon as I see them. If you have any questions about any of the roles, I have a bunch of videos in the playlist that will give you the lowdown and everything you need to know about the roles. So like I said, that's it for this one. Hopefully it was helpful in some way, shape, or form. If it was, do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, because I make guide and tip videos all the time. By hitting the subscribe button, it'll ensure you don't miss the next video. Plus, it helps the channel out tremendously. That's it. Welcome to Red Dead, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Hey Outlaws, if you enjoyed that video, then check out this next video. That's some more Red Dead Online content.